adventure.
Gone! It's all gone.
Such wonderful things could be bad.
You and I are a team. Nothing is more important than our friendship.
Pixar and Disney have spoilt us. Most kids' films aren't great, content, story, or cinematically speaking. Poorly made fluff focusing on lowest common denominator humour, simple plotting, needless celebrity voiceovers,
Cookies are for closers.
and an overuse of meaningless slow-mo. What makes it worse is a good proportion are based on nostalgic IPs, your Smurfs, Scooby-Doos, or Garfields. So not only are they poor quality films, they're trashing your childhood. Most reviews for these films have the disclaimer, harmless fun for the kids, tedious for adults. And on the face of it, who cares? They are children, underdeveloped minds who won't realise that these films are woefully subpar. They don't know the difference. They haven't seen any films yet. But here's the thing, why not push the genre? Make something that looks decent, has some depth, is actually in love with the medium of cinema. Why not create a child classic? Enter 2014's Paddington. Paddington was directed by Paul King, mainly known for his work on cult British comedy show The Mighty Boosh. The whole look of The Mighty Boosh featured a lot of felt, foil, construction paper, and polos for some reason. Basically, what you could call storybook chic. Though airing post-Watershed on BBC Three implied that it was not a kids show, its aesthetic wouldn't look out of place on CBBC. In essence, Paddington is a story about family, a dysfunctional family with an adoptive CGI bear son. A modern director who really nails this whole dynamic is Wes Anderson. From The Royal Tenenbaums to Moonrise Kingdom through The Life Aquatic. Visually at least, Anderson would be the go-to guy if you were making a kids film. That is, if he didn't dwell on broken and unhappy people quite so much. As much as depression, suicide and romantic betrayal are a part of life, they aren't exactly child-friendly. King takes the stylistic elements of Anderson's work, the symmetrical framing, the twinkling soundtrack and the pastel colours, and infuses them with unadulterated joy. Paddington's not going to slit his wrists to Elliott Smith, but that doesn't mean there's not a tragicomedy bathroom scene. The most Anderson-inspired sequences are Paddington's descriptions of his new family, the Browns, consisting of short vignettes about his newly acquired family and their ultra-production designed house. With its ghostly lateral dollies and one-shot perspectives, it recalls the Life Aquatic's getting to know you sequences. We know everything we need to know about these people, not just by the content of the narration, but what their rooms consist of. The essence of their characters boiled down to their possessions and living spaces. Lucy the photographer, Jonathan the science whiz, Mrs. Brown, the children's illustrator, and in a way the whole film's visuals are an extension of her profession. Anderson's stories are dressed up like children's books due to the characters never truly growing up. The contrast between this and the candied visuals is what makes Anderson truly interesting. Paddington, being a child's film, and therefore less into the whole depression thing, really only uses the one-point perspective when things are going well. When he's found his new home, making new friends, he's learning about his new family. When things are less storybook and comparatively low in mood, the colours get bluer and the framing gets a lot more isometric. And while Anderson is definitely an influence, there are bits and pieces taken from elsewhere. In Paddington's slapstick there is a deep sense of innocence and naive mischief that recalls the best of Chaplin. Also with the glorified pleasantness of a grimy capital city and the touches of sweet magic realism, Amelie seems like a clear calling point. The elephant in the room is Fantastic Mr. Fox, Wes Anderson's own kids film. Surely, baby's first Wes Anderson film should be that one. But I think unlike Paddington, half the film is impenetrable to its supposed target audience, with themes of not living up to your father's reputation, not being the man you expected to be, as well as the violent imagery and constant cussing.
Are you cussing with me?
No, you cussing with me?
Fantastic Mr. Fox is probably left for the more existential teen years, before moving on to consume Rushmore and Moonrise Kingdom. Essentially, Paddington is still a kids' film. Cute characters, low stakes plotting, and an over-reliance on slapstick and slow motion. This is not Fellini or Bergman, but still different and brave enough to bear mentioning. And the recently released sequel, which really hammers home the Grand Budapest love, is even better. You know how there's a list of books that most kids should have read before adulthood? You know, Catcher in the Rye, Lord of the Flies, 1984. The building blocks of learning about literature. In 2004, the British Film Institute made a similar list of movies. The 50 films you should see by the age of 14. The first steps of cinematic appreciation. These films range from George Méliès's The Trip to the Moon to Finding Nemo. Films about love, loss, death, sexuality, racism, cultures, about fitting in and sticking out. Fairy stories and morality tales by great auteurs. A crash course in how a film is shaped and shot. The grammar and punctuation of cinema. Paddington and its sequels show all of these things while giving a manageable smattering of Anderson's influences. It's not just a delivery system for fart jokes and instantly dated pop culture, but a well-composed, constructed, and most importantly heartwarming tale of a golden-hearted bear. Paddington should be every preteen film snob's favourite film.
Oh, look, Henry, it's perfect.